This policy addresses emergency electrical power within healthcare facilities. The primary purpose is to prevent overloading the emergency power systems during a utility power failure. This policy applies to all personnel within the healthcare facility, including physicians, staff, patients, volunteers, and visitors. Let's define some key terms. A branch circuit refers to the circuit conductors located between the final overcurrent device, such as a circuit breaker, which protects the circuit, and the outlet or outlets. A critical branch is a subsystem of the emergency system. It consists of feeders and branch circuits supplying energy to task illumination, special power circuits, and selective receptacles serving areas and functions related to patient care. These are connected to alternate power sources by one or more transfer switches during interruption of the normal power source. Electrical life support equipment is electrically powered equipment whose continuous operation is necessary to maintain a patient's life. Emergency power receptacles are electrical receptacles that are either painted red, orange, or blue, or labeled as such. An emergency system is a system of feeders and branch circuits meeting the requirements of Article 700 of the National Electrical Code, except as amended by Article 517, which pertains to healthcare facilities. The emergency system is intended to supply alternate power to a limited number of prescribed functions vital to the protection of life and patient safety, with automatic restoration of electrical power within 10 seconds of power interruption. Equipment is a general term including material, fittings, devices, appliances, luminaries, also known as fixtures, apparatus, and the like, used as a part of or in connection with an electrical installation. A feeder includes all circuit conductors between the service equipment, the source of a separately derived system or other power supply source, and the final branch circuit or overcurrent device. A generator is typically a diesel-powered motor that converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. It automatically starts upon failure of the normal service and allows for automatic transfer and operation of all required electrical circuits. A life safety branch is a subsystem of the emergency system consisting of feeders and branch circuits, meeting the requirements of Article 700 of the National Electrical Code and intended to provide adequate power needs to ensure safety to patients and personnel. It is automatically connected to alternate power sources during interruption of the normal power source. National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a widely adopted code for safe electrical installations. NFPA stands for the National Fire Protection Association. Normal power is normal electrical power provided by the public utility electrical service. Overload is the operation of equipment to excess of its normal, full load rating, or of a conductor in excess of rated ampacity. When it persists for a sufficient length of time, it would cause damage or dangerous overheating. A fault, such as a short circuit or ground fault, is not an overload. Power failure is when the public utility electrical service stops producing electrical power, or a piece of main electrical equipment breaks down. Receptacle identification means the cover plates for the electrical receptacles or the electrical receptacles themselves supplied from the emergency system should have a distinctive color, like red, orange, or blue, or markings so as to be readily identifiable. Selected receptacles are a minimum number of electric receptacles to accommodate appliances ordinarily required for local tasks or likely to be used in patient care emergencies. Task illumination is the provision for the minimum lighting required for carrying out necessary tasks in the described areas, including safe access to supplies and equipment, and access to exits. The term shall indicates a mandatory requirement. The policy statements are as follows. No unauthorized equipment shall be plugged into the emergency power plugs without written approval from hospital facilities. Examples of unauthorized equipment include coffee makers, televisions, radios, copy machines, microwave ovens, refrigerators, space heaters, and computers and printers not used in direct patient care or other non-critical equipment. Exceptions to this policy can be granted at the sole discretion of the Director of Facilities. Cross-references to other standards include an FPA 70 National Electrical Code, 2005 edition Article 517 Healthcare Facilities, an FPA 99 Standard for Healthcare Facilities, 2002 edition, and NFPA 101 Life Safety Code 2003 edition. NEC 517.31 addresses emergency systems. Those functions of patient care depending on lighting or appliances that are connected to the emergency system shall be divided into two mandatory branches, the life safety branch and the critical branch. The branches of the emergency system shall be installed and connected to the alternate power source so that all functions specified for the emergency system shall be automatically restored to operation within 10 seconds after interruption of the normal source. NEC 517.32 addresses the life safety branch. No function other than those listed in 517.32 through G shall be connected to the life safety branch. The life safety branch of the emergency system shall supply power for the following lighting, receptacles, and equipment. Firstly, illumination of means of egress, such as lighting required for corridors, passageways, stairways, and landings at the exit doors, and all necessary ways of approach to exits. Switching arrangements to transfer patient corridor lighting in hospitals from general illumination circuits to night illumination circuits shall be permitted, provided only one of two circuits can be selected and both circuits cannot be extinguished at the same time. Secondly, exit signs and exit directional signs. Thirdly, alarm and alerting systems including fire alarms. Also alarms required for systems used for the piping of non-flammable medical gases. Fourthly, hospital communication systems were used for issuing instructions during emergency conditions. Fifthly, generator set location. Task illumination, battery charger for emergency battery-powered lighting unit or units and selected receptacles at the generator set location. Sixthly, elevators. Elevator cab lighting, control, communications, and signal systems. Seventhly, automatic doors. Automatically operated doors used for building egress. NEC 517.33 addresses the critical branch. The critical branch of the emergency system shall supply power for task illumination, fixed equipment, selected receptacles, and special power circuits serving the following areas and functions related to patient care. Firstly, critical care areas that utilize anesthetizing gases, task illumination, selected receptacles, and fixed equipment. Secondly, the isolated power systems in special environments. Thirdly, patient care areas, task illumination, and selected receptacles in the following areas: infant nurseries, medication preparation areas, pharmacy dispensing areas, select acute nursing areas, psychiatric bed areas excluding receptacles, ward treatment rooms, nurses' stations unless adequately lighted by corridor luminaries. Fourthly, additional specialized patient care task illumination and receptacles where needed. Fifthly, nurse call systems. Sixthly, blood, bone, and tissue banks. Seventhly, telephone equipment rooms and closets. Eighthly, task illumination, selected receptacles, and selected power circuits for the following general care beds: at least one duplex receptacle per patient bedroom, angiographic labs, cardiac catheterization labs, coronary care units, hemodialysis rooms or areas, emergency room treatment areas, human physiology labs, intensive care units, post-operative recovery rooms. Ninthly, additional task illumination, receptacles, and selected power circuits needed for effective hospital operation. Single-phase fractional horsepower motors shall be permitted to be connected to the critical branch. It shall be permitted to subdivide the critical branch into two or more branches. NEC 517.34 addresses equipment system connection to alternate power source. The equipment system shall be installed and connected to the alternate power source such that the equipment described in 517.34 is automatically restored to operation at appropriate time lag intervals following the energizing of the emergency system. Its arrangement shall also provide for the subsequent connection of equipment described in 517.34b. For essential electrical systems under 150 kV amps, deletion of the time lag intervals feature for delayed automatic connection to the equipment system shall be permitted. The following equipment shall be arranged for delayed automatic connection to the alternate power source. Firstly, central suction systems serving medical and surgical functions including controls. Such suction systems shall be permitted on the critical branch. Secondly, sump pumps and other equipment required to operate for the safety of major apparatus, including associated control systems and alarms. Thirdly, compressed air systems serving medical and surgical functions, including controls. Such air systems shall be permitted on the critical branch. Fourthly, smoke control and stir pressurization systems, or both. Fifthly, kitchen hood supply or exhaust systems, or both, if required to operate during a fire in or under the hood. Sixthly, supply, return, and exhaust ventilating systems for airborne infectious isolation rooms, protective environment rooms, exhaust fans for laboratory fume hoods, nuclear medicine areas where radioactive material is used, ethylene oxide evacuation and anesthesia evacuation. Where delayed automatic connection is not appropriate, such ventilation systems shall be permitted to be placed on the critical branch. Sequential delayed automatic connection to the alternate power source to prevent overloading the generator shall be permitted where engineering studies indicate it is necessary. The following equipment shall be arranged for either delayed automatic or manual connection to the alternate power source. Firstly, heating equipment to provide heating for operating, delivery, labor, recovery, intensive care, coronary care, nurseries, infection isolation rooms, emergency treatment spaces, and general patient rooms, and pressure maintenance, jockey or maker pumps for water-based fire protection systems. Heating of general patient rooms and infection isolation rooms during disruption of the normal source shall not be required under any of the following conditions if the outside design temperature is higher than -6.7 degrees Celsius or 20 degrees Fahrenheit, if the outside design temperature is lower than -6.7 degrees Celsius or 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and where a selected room or rooms is provided for the needs of all confined patients, only such room or rooms need be heated, and if the facility is served by a dual source of normal power. Secondly, an elevator or elevators selected to provide service to patient, surgical, obstetrical, and ground floors during interruption of normal power. In instances where interruption of normal power would result in other elevators stopping between floors, throw-over facilities shall be provided to allow the temporary operation of any elevator for the release of patients or other persons who may be confined between floors. Thirdly, hyperbaric facilities. Fourthly, hypobaric facilities. Fifthly, automatically operated doors. Sixthly, minimal electrically heated autoclaving equipment shall be permitted to be arranged for either automatic or manual connection to the alternate source. Seventhly, controls for equipment. Eighthly, other selected equipment shall be permitted to be served by the equipment system. Generator accessories, including but not limited to the transfer fuel pump, electrically operated louvers, and other generator accessories essential for generator operation, shall be arranged for automatic connection to the alternate power source. At the discretion of the Director of Hospital Facilities, other equipment may be added to the critical branch equipment branch that its continued operation is necessary for the continuing operation of the facilities under an emergency power loss. This may include information technology equipment, uninterruptible power supplies, select workstations for accessing patient information, pneumatic tube systems, med stations, built-in automation systems, and air cooling units that support information technology equipment. To request new installations to the emergency power systems, your request should meet the guidelines of NEC 517.31 through 517.34, and a work order request form should be submitted to hospital facilities for approval.